What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Perfect Mess Podcast. I'm your host, Ray Molina, and this is episode 104. Story time. You know, I like to tell stories. So, before I jump off into it, make sure to check out my website. It's raymolina.com. Lots of merch, lots of book reviews, blogs that I've written. You name it. You can listen to the podcast, watch the podcast there. Tons of merchandise, lots of new merchandise, hats, shirts, hoodies for the women, sports bras for the women, everything. There's a lot of stuff there. Please go check it out. Bookmark it, raymolina.com. I'm on Instagram at It's Ray Molina. That's also my TikTok. The podcast is at The Perfect Mess Pod. And I'm on Twitter. It is I am Ray Molina. And I'm also on Facebook. You can find me there as well. Please follow the brand. It's Beast or Famine. That's on Instagram. Again, it's Beast or Famine. All right. So let's talk about this real quick. Oh, YouTube. Before I get off on this, YouTube. Trying to grow this YouTube, man. Please go to youtube.com/@theperfectmesspod. Hit subscribe and the notification bell right there, so you get all the notifications for any shorts, full episodes of the podcast, like this one here. Any clips that I put up, they will all be there, and you will get a notification every time I do that. So please go to youtube.com/@theperfectmesspod. I don't run ads. I don't do any of that stuff. It's all word of mouth. So if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you're at, please hit follow, please hit subscribe, please comment, review, all of it. This thing is growing better than I thought this year. And that's because of you guys. Thank you. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about this story I want to tell you guys. I got inspired to tell you guys this story because I was just listening to Kevin Samuels, and if you guys are familiar with Kevin Samuels, guy's very outspoken. He passed away last year, I believe. And but anyways, I was watching a video and it just inspired me to tell this story. So coming up on 2 years ago, I went out with a girl, right? And we hit it off, whatever, hung out, and got to know each other a little bit. And I kept feeling like there was going to be a disconnect because I'm very good at catching vibes, you know what I mean? And I could tell that this was a big financial thing. She was a financial girl. Like, just everything was money, right? Because I listened to her. I'm very in tune. When I talk to people, I listen to what they're saying, and I take little things from what they say, and I run with it. So my intuition was correct. And I might have told or hinted to this story a while back in the podcast, but I realized that this woman wanted somebody who made a lot of money, had a typical job, right? I haven't had a typical job in years. But what I want to tell you is this. We have a sit down, we talk, and we're sitting in my car. And by the way, this doesn't mean anything, but gorgeous chick. Any guy who's kind of down on their luck, if he pulls this girl, he's probably like, man, I did great. You know, I got a good looking girl. I could show her off to I wasn't down on my luck, all right? This girl caught me around the time when I had already bounced back, got myself into shape, and I like where my life's at, like where I'm at now, okay? So I'm very comfortable with who I am, what I do for a living, and how I survive out here. But she's a good looking girl. And I was at that point in my life where looks are great, but I don't give a damn about your looks. If I can't stand you personally, or your vibe, I don't give a damn. I'm out. Just me. So we start talking, and I immediately just throw it out there. I said, you know, I don't know if you and me are going to be a match, if you and me are going to connect for the long haul. We had gone out a couple of times. It's cool. Had fun. But at my age, fun only lasts for so long. It's got to be some substance, you know what I mean? So she goes, what do you mean? And I say, well, you know, I have the mind of an entrepreneur. So I'm always trying to put businesses or put ideas together until something works. I go, so what that means is I'm always in the stages of trying to build something, okay? And I'm not above doing things to make sure that my bills are paid, my kids are taken care of, and that I'm taken care of. And she goes, okay. I said, so I'm gonna be straight with you. When my business is slow, which at the time I was going full on with the graphic design and printing and all that, I said, so when that business is slow, I Uber drive and I drive for Lyft. And she kind of gave me this look like, huh. Now it was a look that you could tell this is a woman who didn't want to answer the question to any of her friends or family that the guy she had some interest in had a small business that when it wasn't going well or when it was slow, he would drive for Uber or Lyft. That's the look she made. And I also said, and I also deliver food when I'm driving for Uber. So sometimes I get Uber Eats deliveries, sometimes I get Uber rideshare, which means I give people rides, and then for Lyft I do the same. That's what I do. And then I have a podcast. I go and I have been paid to speak a few times and whatnot. That's what I do. She looks at me and says, wow, why would you tell me all that? I said, because I'm a very upfront person. I think you should know that. And she's like, well, you wouldn't want to do something else to like have some stability? I said, you know, I did that for years. I was afraid to jump off a cliff, so to say, and chase my dream. I said, I always put my dream on the back burner, which means I never fully went for what I wanted to do. I always had that safety of a job, and then I did my business when I would come home, drop dead tired, okay? And that became even more difficult when I had kids. And when I tell you that she looked at me, eyes kind of welled up, and I said, I knew this was going to go this way. And she goes, I don't know if I'm at that point in my life where I want that. I think I go, you want someone with a straight 9 to 5 who goes 9 to 5, comes home and says, honey, is dinner ready, right? She was like, well, yeah, kind of want that. Someone who will sit down, watch movies with me and my kid, and you know, wake up Sunday morning on a lazy Sunday, have breakfast in bed. I said, I hear you. I said, you know, I'm not above any of that, but that don't happen every day for me. And even if I was successful in chasing what I'm chasing right now, I still wouldn't allow that to be my everyday, because there are things that I want to do that require me to be on point and be working and hustling 99% of my day. And she said, well, I'm attracted to you. I said, you know, I think you're attracted to me physically, and I appreciate that. And I think you're attracted to my conversation, my sense of humor, because you've told me that. Excuse me. I'm actually doing a ruck right now outside, so every now and then you get a car that wants to show off. So I said, I think you're attracted to me physically. I think you're attracted to my conversation and my sense of humor. You've told me this. But there's more to me, and I wanted to share that with you so you understood. But I knew it was going to go this way. She said, were you trying to push me away? I said, no. But at the same time, I didn't want to go along like in this fantasy world, knowing that if I didn't tell you up front that it was going to be an issue. It's an issue, right? And she looked at me and I go, right? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, there's the answer. And that was that. Now, when I tell you that this woman, I heard from her one time after this. I had texted her to be cool, and I said, hey, just checking in on you. We're good, right? Yeah, we're good. Okay. We're grown adults. We don't have to be strangers. We can still be friends. It wasn't a connection, but yeah, no, I'm good. Okay, cool. Never heard from this person again. Now, I tell you this because there are a lot of men out there who are afraid to do whatever it takes to get out of a hole that they're in, to get out of a rut, to get out of always playing catch up, because they have too much pride, because their ego's too big, or because they're afraid of that someone's going to see them. So they don't want to be embarrassed, or they don't want to be confronted. They don't want any of these things. And I got to tell you guys, if you're doing that, if that's you, the only person you're hurting is yourself. That's the truth. I'm going to share something with you. This is another story that links to this. This case in point. The gym I go to. There's a guy that works there. Okay? I don't know this guy. For all I know, he listens to the podcast. For all I know, he watches the podcast, or someone that knows him watches the podcast. And if they do, I want them to hear this. There's a guy that works at this gym that I go to, okay? He's in good shape. I thought this guy was a trainer at the gym, okay? Because he had a shirt on. This guy is not a trainer at the gym. That's how good a shape this guy's in. He actually is someone that goes around, vacuums the floor, cleans the bathrooms, the showers, the pool area, the sauna, the steam room, does all that, all the maintenance work, replaces the towels, fills up the cleaning fluid. When it's empty in the gym and when it's full on packed. And I watch this guy and I think, this guy's got a plan. And you say, why would you say this guy's got a plan? Because listen to me very closely. It takes a strong cat, someone who's got something here, to say, I don't care what anybody thinks about me working here. Mopping, sweeping, picking up trash, cleaning windows, cleaning the showers, the bathrooms. I don't care. And this is a young cat in good shape. If I had a photo of this guy, you would think that this guy was a trainer at the gym, and he's not. Now I look at this guy and I say, you know what? This guy's working towards something. He's either trying to put himself through school, or he has got an opportunity that maybe he never thought he was going to have again, and he got it and he's taking it. Took a job and said, you know what? I'm going to do this until this next thing that I'm working on aside from this takes off for me. I don't know what it is, but I like to think that this guy has a plan. He has a business that maybe he wants to start, that he's taking that paycheck and he's putting it towards, or that he has, maybe he did some time and he didn't even think he was going to get a job because, companies don't like to hire felons. Maybe he's that. Maybe that's his story. But this time, maybe he came out and he's like, finally, someone hired me. I'm going to work this job, get a year or two under my belt, and I'm going to try to get a better job. Maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe he got out and maybe that's the story. Maybe he's like, hey, man, I just had a newborn. I got a job, but this is my second job because I need to make more money because my newborn is here. And I'm not above doing these things in front of all these people that may know me or may not know me. I'm not above that. So I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is what I like to think that this guy has going on. Again, I don't know this guy. But I always imagine, like, when I see people running here when I'm rucking, I like to imagine that, they're going through something that they're trying to power through and get better. Okay, I'm telling you guys this because, guys, I am not ashamed to do whatever it takes. I'm not above to do whatever it takes to succeed at what my master plan is. Okay, I'm not, and you shouldn't be either. That's the truth. You should not be. Guys, you see my website. My website is my government name. For a reason. Okay, I'm marketing myself because I went through a very terrible time in my life, and I have used my experience of being in the gutter and now pulling myself out. All right, pulling myself out and getting better to the point where now I am using that, my story, and the things that I share with you guys to help other men, to help other people, to encourage people to get better, and giving them the avenues of how they can do that. Listen, I'm not ashamed to say what I'm trying to do. You see my website, you go there, boom. You see my write-ups on books that I'm reading. You see my blogs that I write about my life, raising kids, being a single father, being a divorcee, being someone who struggled with his own parents. Okay? I share these things. I do blogs about it. You see my merchandise I put up. It all has something tied into my life. Not just the fitness, but the military aspect of my grandfather being my inspiration, being my hero, the proudness I have for this country, all of these things. You see it. You see it, guys. This is all tied into what I do. And the podcast is what kicked all of this off. Talking to everybody, to complete strangers, here, right now, on video and on audio. Complete strangers, sharing my life with you, sharing my struggles, sharing my triumphs, sharing everything with you guys. All of this is to eventually get to my master plan, and that plan is I want to write a book, and I've started outlining my book. I want to write multiple books, but I have to get the first book out first. I want to write a book, okay? I want to speak, all right? I want to have meet and greets where we have seminars, small seminars where we talk and we help build strong men from my experience. Men who are trying to be leaders, who are trying to be strong role models for their kids, whether you have sons or daughters, which is why I mentor kids, which is why I coach teams, baseball and football, which is why I'm always trying to do something that has to do with leadership. Guys, all of that is possible because I'm not afraid to do things that some people aren't willing to do because they're afraid they're going to be seen. You think I give a damn if someone I know sees me come up to their door and deliver some food? If I did, I wouldn't be doing it. You think I give a damn if someone sees me pull up in my car to pick them up and give them a ride somewhere? It's already happened. I don't give a damn. You think I give a damn if I go into a store and I'm shopping and someone sees me doing Instacart? Think I care about that? I don't. because I live a very open life. And if you run into me, I ain't embarrassed to say what I'm doing. I'd be embarrassed if I was at home sitting on my couch and got on my podcast and cried every day about how life did me dirty and how I don't know how to bring in money and how I can't feed my kids and how I can't feed myself, how I can't pay my bills. Then I would be embarrassed. But I ain't embarrassed to get out and get it. Going back to this Kevin Samuels video I just watched, he talks about the same thing. He says, you know, a lot of guys who go through stuff, they're always like, man, I'm struggling, man. I need to this, I need to that, or I'm trying to get better, so I'm analyzing my past. You're analyzing what, man? You ain't no psychiatrist. What the hell are you talking about? You analyzing your past. What you need to do is forget about your past and start getting out there getting it. Go get a job and humble yourself. Go stock some shelves at a store. Go work for UPS. Go to FedEx. Go somewhere. Don't be above throwing boxes around for a job. Don't be above going to work nights at a bar to be a bartender or go wait some tables. That's the problem with a lot of us, man. I'm talking to the men. That's a problem with a lot of us, is we too fucking proud. And I'm sorry that I'm cussing, man, but we too fucking proud to get out there and do whatever it takes. But you got some dreams, huh? You got some dreams? Yeah, I got some dreams too, man. Funny thing is I've had people tell me, another loud, this time a motorcycle. Listen, I've had people tell me, bro, still? You still chasing a dream at 48? Is there an expiration date? Man, you better start doing your little Google search and find out how many of these millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires became multimillionaires and billionaires after 45, after 50. You better do some research, because there's a lot of them. And by the way, since you're asking me if I'm still chasing my dream, are you still at that little job you got? Are they still telling you when you can take a bathroom break? Are they still telling you that you can't take time off to go see your son play baseball? Are they still telling you can't take a vacation because they need you to work overtime? Let's talk about it. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Come on, let's talk about it. And by the way, if you got friends like that in your life that are talking to you like that because you're close to my age, you need to shake them people. Because they ain't your friends. They don't give a damn about you. When's the last time they bought something that you put out? You got a t-shirt company? You put out hats, t-shirts, all that stuff like I do? When's the last time your friends bought something from you? Think about that. I can log into my store right now and tell you every friend that bought something from me. And trust me, I know the ones who haven't bought one thing from me. Guys, do not be above getting out there and getting it. However you got to get it. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Nothing. Especially if you're a father and you got to provide. Be embarrassed if your ass is sitting on the damn couch, fat, lazy, out of shape, drinking, talking about woe is me while you're holding the fucking remote control, changing channels in your fucking feelings. That should be embarrassing to you. And if it's not embarrassing, it should be. And these friends you got, they should be telling you that. And if they don't, let me be the one to tell you that. It's embarrassing. What's not embarrassing is doing what I told you I'm not afraid to do. Give a damn if someone sees me delivering food. If someone sees me Uber driving, who gives a fuck? I'm paying my bills and I'm working on my dreams while I'm doing that. And guess what? I'm raising my kids as well. And I'm doing a damn good job about it. And you know what's something else? So I got a damn good relationship with my ex-wife now. You know why? Because I ain't no soft-ass crybaby who said the world threw me a curveball and I didn't hit it out the park. Shit. That's all I got to say, guys. I hope this one hits home. I love you guys. Please check out my website, raymolina.com. I'm on Instagram at it's Ray Molina, at The Perfect Mess Pod. The YouTube is youtube.com/The Perfect Mess Pod. Like I always say, my life isn't perfect. Oftentimes it's a mess. But for me, it is the perfect mess. Peace.